The streets of downtown Los Angeles resembled a war zone as federal agents launched flashbangs to disperse protesters during an ICE raid. Across America, certain areas are becoming battlegrounds as ICE intensifies efforts to reclaim regions heavily affected by illegal immigration. Despite recent operations resulting in over 2,300 arrests in a single day, authorities insist more must be done. Even with border crossings down by 95%, a vast criminal underworld has entrenched itself within the U.S., showing no signs of retreat. On just one Tuesday, ICE detained over 2,200 illegal migrants, significant surge compared to past operations. Field offices nationwide are under immense pressure as the government ramps up immigration enforcement. A stark contrast to the previous administration's approach. Officials argue that laws long ignored are now being enforced, targeting criminals who pose a threat to public safety. However, critics claim ICE is unfairly targeting workers, bypassing due process in its operations. A recent Houston operation highlights the contentious nature of these raids. ICE deported 142 criminal aliens, including 8 documented gang members, collectively responsible for 473 crimes. When agents arrived in white vans, protesters attempted to block their path but were swiftly removed, while ICE set a record with 2,300 arrests in a day. This number pales in comparison to the millions living in the U.S. illegally, underscoring the scale of the challenge. The Biden administration's leniency, critics argue, allowed 15 to 20 million unvetted immigrants into the country, many with criminal or terrorist ties. Despite this, Democrats oppose detaining or deporting even those with violent histories, leaving communities at risk. ICE's job is further complicated by sanctuary cities, where local governments obstruct federal enforcement, forcing agents to conduct public raids. Rather than safely apprehend criminals in jails, activists and protesters deliberately escalate tensions by confronting ICE during operations, ensuring chaotic scenes for media coverage. Their goal is to frame enforcement efforts as brutal and unjust, manipulating public perception. By forcing ICE to operate in volatile environments, they amplify outrage, portraying deportations as indiscriminate family separations rather than the removal of dangerous individuals. The backlash against ICE is a manufactured crisis, designed to undermine immigration enforcement. While most Americans support border security, progressive strongholds resist, portraying ICE as villains. For instance, in Los Angeles, protesters, some illegally present, wave foreign flags and assault officers, creating a hostile environment. That demands a forceful response. The media's narrative omits critical context. Many arrested are gang members, repeat offenders, or even suspected terrorists. In Philadelphia, ICE apprehended an alleged Al-Qaeda affiliate, while others had entered the U.S. illegally over 20 times. The individuals, far from contributing to society, exploit the asylum system, hiding in sanctuary cities shielded by progressive policies. Democratic leaders exacerbate the problem. Mayor Karen Bass decried recent raids as sowing terror, ignoring that those detained were criminals. Such rhetoric emboldens protesters who view themselves as part of a righteous resistance. Meanwhile, officials like Gavin Newsom and Hakeem Jeffries have condoned or downplayed violence against law enforcement, further inflaming tensions. The sanctuary city model incentivizes criminals to flock to these areas, knowing local authorities will protect them. When ICE attempts arrests, activists mobilize, creating scenes of chaos. This deliberate obstruction forces federal agents into risky street operations rather than controlled jail transfers, endangering both officers and the public. The solution lies in enforcing consequences for criminals, their enablers, and the politicians who incite unrest. Until local leaders cooperate and the judicial system holds offenders accountable, these clashes will persist. America must decide whether to uphold the rule of law or surrender to anarchy, where borders are meaningless and criminals operate with impunity. The stakes couldn't be higher.